What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik and MademB Reviews. In this video, we're going to be talking about Death Note. Now, Death Note is an anime series based off a manga series, which neither one of us read or watched. So we're just going to talk about strictly the movie that just came out on Netflix, 2017 one. And what are your initial thoughts?
Well, of course, at first I didn't want to watch it because I thought, I didn't know what it was going to be about. But you was like, okay, I'll watch it. The first, let's see, 20 minutes of it, I was like, it's a lot of gore. And for the first, few minutes, let's say 20 minutes, yeah.
The first 20 to 30 minutes was interesting. It was starting to build on me.
Maybe 20, 25 minutes. I ain't going to go all the way to 30. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
And then it kind of just pummels. Now, Death Note is about this guy named Light. Who the hell names a guy Light? Who ends up coming across this book called a Death Note. And in the Death Note, aside from the rules that it has, you can write a person's name in it and that person will die. You can even say when or how. Just you can do all of that and they'll just die. But it has to be realistic.
And within the next, it says 40 human seconds. If you don't write cause of death, it's
a heart attack. It defaults to a heart attack.
Yeah.
And then we get some pretty graphic scenes of people dying in this movie, which okay, yeah, I thought was done pretty well. It definitely had what's that series where people were dying? Death was killing. Final Destination. It definitely had that Final Destination feel to it too. But as we said, the first 25, maybe the 30 minutes, it was actually pretty interesting. Especially for someone who hasn't watched the Death Note anime. But after that, it kind of does fall down. Now, as far as the story goes, I don't think the story was too bad. I don't think it was the execution of the story. Although it was predictable. Yeah. It was predictable.
Okay, so was it the execution of the story? Was it the characters?
I didn't mind the guy Light. Now, what I do know is the character in the anime is an asshole. Straight up asshole, like a dick you would not like. Mm-hmm. But this guy, he's not like that initially. He builds up to that point, but he doesn't stay at that point. He starts to they made him more humane, and I did like that. As far as the movie's concerned. Now, if I watch the anime and I watch the anime and then come back and compare it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it as far as the movie.
They got it, in this one, they got it kind of mixed up like the girl should have been.
I didn't like the girl. I think in the anime, the girl was actually like that too. But as far as a character, did not like her. Never liked her in any moment in the movie. I wish the movie didn't even have her in it.
She was like, I don't get why he told her in the first place. Because before all that happened, she was basically a douche to him. Yeah. He was trying to help her, and she was like, I don't need no help. Why are you helping me? So. Yeah,
I never liked her. That whole movie, I didn't like her character.
Yeah, but then he felt the need to actually tell her about it.
Forced. That was completely forced.
How was it forced?
Because it was like he had no friends, but there was no discernible reason why he had no friends.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Then he liked this girl. Why did he like this girl?
And she was throwing him off.
Yeah, it's like there was no reason for him to like this girl. Then he ends up starting to talk to this girl.
I don't see why he didn't have no friends. What he did, he done other people's homework and they paid him, so that means he should have a few little buddies somewhere.
Yeah, but somebody that he was cool with.
But he didn't have no friends.
Yeah, you gotta have. If you're gonna do a character like this, you gotta give us a reason why he doesn't have friends. Like if he was an asshole, you can see it. He wasn't an asshole. And when it came to her character, not only was she not likable, and her whole point of view in the story was forced as hell. she made the plot predictable because a lot of things that happen are initiated by her. And it was like the part, spoiler review, part where the cops died.
Yeah.
I already knew she did it. I knew she did it. And then when she wanted to take the death note herself, I knew she did then. When the cops raided his house, I knew she took it. I do every moment with her. The one thing about the one twist that did happen in this movie I did not see coming was at the end, what he did.
Yeah. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was...
It was like he wrote all that quick as they was like coming to get him. That was a lot that he wrote, you know.
Which I don't understand how they knew to go up there anyway and look for him. But her whole character just sucked. Now the guy who plays L, don't know much about L, but the guy who played this character when he was kind of a genius, when he was being like a detective. Okay, the guy played the role well. When he was all smart and logic and all that. Now, when they try to reintroduce the mannerisms of the character into the movie, it doesn't flow well. No, it doesn't. Like the part where he's sitting on the chair like this, like it's not realistic, so it doesn't look right. But something about his character he kind of pulled that part off, so I didn't mind it as much.
He's the talking fast and maybe it's talking fast because of all the sweets he's eating, and then he said he don't sleep like that, and he getting like an hour sleep a day, something like that. But all of that, I mean, a good detective, what the man said, how he was raised,
which they didn't get into. They did not get into it. And one thing I did say in the movie, it was like, if he was raised in a group of people to be this smart, where the rest of them at? Right. Just like what I said about when we brought up about the Ryuk, the deaf guy. It's like, where the rest of them? He mentioned that he did phrase it there that like there was more of them. Where the hell are the rest of them? Right. So that was a really bad exposition. And then, like I said, the guy that played L didn't do a bad job because even some of the mannerisms, they weren't realistic. I didn't mind it because
that's where they was forcing it.
Yeah, they did a little bit too much with that. And then when he totally like broke down, and I was like, that seems out of character because he was like yelling. And what I tell you, the one thing I wanted to see was back and forth dialogue. I wanted Light and L to just kind of be at it with each other. Right. But like, I know you did. I know you're responsible for this, and I'm going to take you down. And I'm like, and Light to be like, well, you can't take me down. You know what I'm saying? Because it wouldn't be like if they would try to kill each other. It wouldn't be like they would try to kill each other. It'd be just a rivalry between the two.
But I don't get to how he found out that it was like...
The movie never supports this. Never supports this.
That's what it was like. All of a sudden, he just woke up from a dream like, it's Light Turner.
Yeah.
Like, nothing led up to it. He wasn't reading. He was not studying. And anyway, nobody would know that Light was doing all that. I'm talking about, like, nobody unless...
There was no reason for him to figure out it was Light.
No.
The only thing that I did say was, we're going to name yourself Kira, which translates to light in some languages, but killer in others. But it's like, why would you name yourself Kira? That's way too convenient. That's way too close to your name.
Oh, so that's what they did?
Yeah.
So I thought the Kira meant killer.
In one language, but in like 3 other languages, it meant light. I was like, your name's like, why would you name yourself Kira? That's stupid.
Okay, so who named it? Him or the girl?
He did. And she was like, well, Kira means light, I think. And he was like, and she was like, and this right here says it means light. And he was like, yeah, but in this language it means killer. Which is why the guy was like, well, the killer's not from Japan. Because they made it seem like he was in Japan. Yeah. Which, again, there was like no... I could buy him being as smart as he was, but I couldn't buy him knowing the stuff that he knew because it wasn't like he was... You never see him trying to figure this stuff out. You never see him like looking at the dots or hacking into the computer trying to figure out the IP addresses of people that search for this. The only thing that he did that was like, where you think he kind of had a plausible reason for doing it, but then again he didn't, was he was like, well, you didn't kill your dad. But it's like, wait a minute. Up until this point, he only killed criminals. So even if that was the case, he never killed he didn't kill no cops. So why would he kill this guy? And the only reason, and if you're going to go by those numbers, the only reason he went after the cops, the FBI guys, was because they were trying to find him.
Right.
Even though he didn't do it. It was a girl that did it.
Right. And then L was just doing stupid things like coming into the boy's house and then jumping on the table with his feet like this. Someone come out, hey, nice to meet you. You need to leave. I'm like, what the hell are you doing in my house?
You would have got shot for that. And it was like, well, he got a search warrant for the house. I'm like, how? Right. What evidence did you got? You have no evidence.
Right, and it's like no judge should have like ordered that. And it's like, tear this place apart, tear it apart. Like, why? It's stupid.
And then just like, what was the ending part? Was just one big chase sequence. But before the ending, this big chase sequence, I was like, this is not Blade 3. I don't want to see this. I want to see your intellect versus his intellect. Because Light character is supposed to be a genius. So I want to see these two geniuses kind of duke it out. Again, we have not seen the anime. We're just going to go by what the movie presented us.
Right.
But I didn't see that. I was disappointed at that. Now, the one thing that the movie did right, as far as just being a movie, because remember what I told you about reviewing. If you're going to review something based off something, off other source material, you review it in two fashions. First, you review it to see if it's a good movie, and second, you review it to see if it's a good movie based on those sources. As far as it being a good movie, no. I say it's worth a watch, but people that are fans of anime and manga won't like it. But the one thing they did get right, in my opinion, was Ryuk.
Yes.
The voice performance by Willem Dafoe, perfect. See, magnifique. I don't think they could have went better with that. His portrayal of the character, the practical and special effects they used for that character was just fantastic.
Big thumbs up.
Yeah, that was probably the best part of the movie. And the death sequences were actually pretty good too. I thought they were pretty good.
Maybe they was trying to throw us off by having a lot of gruesome deaths up in there.
Yeah, it's like this movie kind of didn't know what it wanted to be. It felt like it was a love story, a horror, and there's like a thriller. And yeah, like that whole girl, I did not like her. I didn't like her. She was just a complete waste.
Can you believe the budget was $40 million?
There's no reason for this movie to be $40 million. None whatsoever.
It didn't say how much it made.
It didn't make much of nothing back. Movies like this should be no $40 million. This movie should have been like 20, 15 tops. Cause there wasn't nothing big budget. Like the biggest part of the biggest of the budgetist of it. I mean, read some of these negative reviews, please.
Okay. It received mixed to negative reviews, with critics calling it a bad decision on top of a festering pile of bad decisions. Lazy, unambitious, forgettable, boring. New York Times said it feels rushed and constricted compared to the volume of the material. So, let me see. The movie never quite reckons with just how twisted a concept it's peddling, and that's easily the scariest thing about it. And
the thing about and the back pedal off what that at that point is, you see how Light is kind of he's kind of conscious about it when he's doing it, but then it falls off, and then the unconscious part of it goes to the girl. Yeah. Again, if they took that girl out, what would have happened? he would have kept doing it.
Yeah.
They just did that for the script for that girl. Put that girl in there.
It says Brian Tallarico gave the film 1 of 4 stars, stating that the changes that De Bruges had made from the original work did not serve any artistic or thematic purpose, nor captured the cat and mouse game between Light and Elle.
Exactly.
That was core to the original work, and because the producers refused to make Light the anti-hero he needed to be, the addition of Mia as a love interest left the project hollow at its center.
See, her character took away so much because they tried. And me personally, I don't mind the whole, okay, Elle was a black guy. Light was this half Korean. I don't know what the hell the guy is actually. But my thing is, can they bring those characters to life? Again, Elle, the black guy that played Elle, that dude started the character off right. Even though he was a little bit comic booky about it. Mm-hmm. And then, like you said about that, said about Light, a possible sequel. There are definitely lots of places to go. To hell, that's just that project can go. There's no reason for this to have no sequel. They messed up.
If they would have done the first one right, then yeah. Mm-hmm. But after that one with people who can, review it like that, they don't even want to see a second one. Mm-hmm. They barely got through the first one.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say this too. For those people that complain that them people are not Japanese, Asian, or whatever that was in that movie, y'all can kiss my booty, because one thing about it is almost every Japanese live action adaptation of an anime / manga series has sucked ass. Straight up. Sucked ass. It means some of the biggest piles of garbage I've ever had the misfortune of seeing.
Calm down.
No! That's the same thing that kind of... I ain't finna get back in it. I ain't finna talk about Dragon Ball Evolution. I'm gonna let that go.
Okay, yeah. We'll take it for another.
But yeah, it's an interesting watch, and you can definitely see the potential, and it starts to go in a good direction, but it does fall off majorly. And the best aspect of it, once again, is Ryuk, played by Willem Dafoe. Mm-hmm. That is literally the best part of it.
Maybe if they said would have kept Watari alive, maybe.
He felt like a wasted character too.
He basically was just what? Assistant.
There's a way you can introduce characters to support the main characters without them detracting from it.
Right.
The whole part where Light is trying to figure out who Elle is through Watanabe, whatever the hell this guy's name is, detracted from their game. Right. Mia being part of it, Mia going down that dark path without Light doing it, detracted from it. Mm-hmm. So that's like the thing. They could have been good support characters on the side, like Mia maybe been his friend, but not knew what was going on. Watari kind of supporting Elle on trying to figure out what's going on, but not taking a direct role. Mm-hmm. But that would just force it to be them two. But I'm not gonna say it's the worst anime adaptation I've seen, but I'm not gonna say it's. It
could have been better.
It could have been a hell of a lot better.
And I've just started watching anime, so
yeah. And we're going, and again we're reviewing this movie based on the material that we've seen in this movie. So any final thoughts?
No, not really.
All right then, guys. As far as this Death Note movie, I'll say it's worth a watch. I'll say a 3 out of 5. I'm the one for ideas. I like seeing ideas.
Okay.
So what would you rate it as?
I guess I'll go with you. I guess just because of Ryuk.
Ryuk made the movie. Willem Dafoe, you're awesome, dude. Having said that, we'll end it here. Guys, in the comment section below, let us know what is going on with your thoughts about the Death Note movie that came out on Netflix. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let us know some of the changes that you didn't accept or did accept. Also,
should they do a possible sequel?
No, they shouldn't. Or if they should do a possible sequel. Also, be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, notification button to get the best of this channel, as well as to support it. And me and Madam B will see you guys later. Peace on out.